Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Together We Grow podcast. My name's Paul,
And I'm Tamer.
and this is episode 40. And in this episode, we're going to talk about content that sells your products. Because I absolutely get, we certainly do, from our time at having our home fragrance businesses, and of course, running the Home Fragrance Academy now, that you're busy making content for social media all the time. You probably don't really know if it's selling, if it's working or not. So we've got some tips for you on the types of content you should create to actually help sell your products over time. And that's what we're going to talk about today, isn't that right?
Yeah. So hopefully you'll be able to take away some information that you'll be able to implement straight away in your business.
Yeah, great. Well, let's get into it, shall we? So here at the Home Fragrance Academy, we are working with lots of home fragrance business owners, aren't we, who want to grow their business. We're having lots of one-to-one calls with them. We create courses. We've got our online membership, all this kind of stuff, where we're teaching people the tactics on how to start, grow, and scale up their home fragrance business. And it seems to be working well. A lot of the students we're working with are implementing things. They're seeing the changes that they are hoping for. But there is like a clear divide, isn't there? We obviously provide lots of information, all this kind of stuff. People consume it, but you can really tell apart, can't you, the people that are not implementing it compared to the people that really are.
Yeah, you can. And then when you get a few people that don't implement things and then they keep asking the same questions, how do I get more sales? And then you dive into a little bit and you find out actually they haven't implemented anything that they've learnt so far. It feels a little bit frustrating sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but that I guess that's normal. But if you are in the position where you're listening to this and your sales and things are not where you want them to be, then just try implementing some of the stuff you're learning,
It's worth a try, isn't it?
because it works. It worked for us on 3 different occasions. It's working for us now at the Home Fragrance Academy, and the people that we're working with who are implementing it, it's working with them. It's working for them as well. So, and one of those things is the actual content that you need to create for social media. And the main thing we're going to talk about today is Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's how to grow your profile on Instagram, how to get more views, and how to get more actions, how to get people to take those actions that you want them to take, which, let's be honest, is to go to your profile, click on your link, and then
Buy something.
exactly. That's what we want people to do, isn't it?
It is.
So we're going to talk about that today. Now, there are numerous things you need to do first before you even start creating content. And the first thing is to give people a reason to want to follow you and to be interested in you. And the way you do this is by actually carving yourself out a niche audience, something I talk about a lot.
Yeah, that's very important because especially when you're on social media, if you're trying to target everybody, you're fighting against such a huge sea of other brands doing the same thing. Whereas if you carve yourself out a niche, you're going to be targeting a smaller amount of people or a very defined audience, and it will be easier to target them, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as I scroll through Instagram, you see so many wax melt companies that are selling snap bars in a glassine bag or a plastic bag with a little round sticker on the front. It's colored and it's scented as black cherry or whatever. And they're just targeting anyone and everyone, anyone that will give them attention. Yeah. You just scroll past those because you see them all the time. However,
Kind of blend in a bit, don't they?
yeah, let's take you and I, for example. We love traveling to different countries. And at the moment, it's specifically the islands in the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we also love home fragrance products.
Yeah.
So if we're scrolling through Instagram and we see a brand which is all about bringing fragrances from different Mediterranean islands, firstly, that is going to spark our attention, isn't it?
It's going to grab our attention because that's what we're interested in.
Yeah. So then we're like, okay, what are these guys? You click into it. Then, so straight away, that's the thing. There's your niche audience, okay? And that's what you need to do. You need to target some kind of specific audience. And it could be people that love traveling. It could be, I talk about this all the time. It could be book lovers, whatever it is. I'm not going to dwell on that because I spoke about it so many times. But you need to have a niche audience. If you're just going to target anyone and everyone, you're not going to grow. I'll just be, unless you've got thousands and thousands you can invest all the time into Facebook ads, into Meta ads to outmarket everybody else. You just will not grow.
No.
Okay, not today, not in this day and age, because it's so competitive. You have to be in an audience, in a niche. So think about what that can be. And when you've sparked that interest in someone and they've clicked through to your profile, why should they follow you? Why should they click on that link? This is where your bio is so important, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You don't want to have a boring bio that we see everywhere that says CLP compliant, fully insured, because the person that's landed on your profile doesn't care about that. They're not interested in that, and that's not what's going to get them to tick the link in your bio if you have one there, is it?
No, and that is valuable real estate space. So it's like 3 lines and then a link. So you want to say who you're targeting in that first line. You know, home fragrances for people who love Mediterranean lifestyle. Yeah. Then underneath, wax melts, candles, room sprays. Brilliant. Okay, I know what they offer. I know who they're targeting. I know what they offer. Then underneath it, you advertise your no-brainer offer that we talk about all the time. So, I don't know, buy 2, get 1 free with a little arrow pointing to the link below.
Yeah.
Click on that. That takes you to that no-brainer offer page.
So immediately I know that these are products that I like because they're home fragrance. I know that they're targeting me because I love going to the Mediterranean, and I know what I'm going to get when I click that link because I can see the deal very clearly already.
Yeah, exactly that. So there you go. That's how you're going to get attention. I mean, that was obviously very short in a few minutes, but it's create content to target a specific niche. When they land on your profile on Instagram, tell them exactly who you're targeting. That tell them exactly that you are there for them,
Yeah.
what you do, and link them to a no-brainer offer. Boom, you've got their attention.
Yeah, it's like solving a pain point for them, isn't it? That they're not in the Mediterranean where they love to be, but they can be transported there with your products.
Exactly. Okay, so that's kind of very loosely how you're going to get these people to pay attention to you. Now let's talk about the content and what you should do. Okay, so I think what a lot of people forget is that social media is social. It's social networking. It's a fantastic opportunity to sell your products, and you will sell them, and you absolutely can grow on there. We did, but it's social. Okay, so it's not just you pumping out stuff out there saying, "Come and buy this, come buy this." Everything can't just be an advert. And what it is fantastic at is brand exposure. Creating the right type of content will give you more eyeballs on your brand. And I think what I'm getting at is that every single piece of content you put out there shouldn't be an advert. You can do all sorts of different things. So the type of content you can create to help get exposure are face-on videos, or just videos showing your face. And bear in mind, the good thing about Instagram these days is that the more raw the images are, the more raw and real the videos are, the better.
Yeah.
Just a mobile phone with some half decent lighting. You do not need anything complicated, do
You don't
you?
need nothing fancy. You don't need anything like loads of lights and everything. Literally just turn your light on and go face on. You can edit a little bit in your app if you needed to as
Yeah.
well.
But you don't need fancy editing at all. You really don't. Captions, a face talking to the camera if you've got something to say. And that could be talking about an upcoming collection. It could be talking about an upcoming offer. It could be thanking people for taking part in a recent sales weekend, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just little messages like that. And you can sit down for 1 hour a week and you could record, well, not even 1 hour per week, just 1 hour, and you could record so many short 30-second face-on videos, and you can schedule one every 3 days for probably 2 months.
Yeah. And once you get in a routine of doing that as well, once you sit down and start to think about all the things you need to say, and you do it all at once and batch it, it's a lot easier, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you kind of, once we've had one idea, then it sparks another, and you just keep rolling.
Yeah. So they're the face-on videos, whether that's sat in front of the camera, or it could be that you're just working with the camera sort of on the side, but they can see your face, and you're just talking as you're working. Some people like that, so then you've got something to do. It doesn't feel so formal. Mix it up, do different things. But and I promise you, that kind of content gets more engagement, gets more eyeballs, and that's what it's all about. So I've put that one first because that's the one that is outside of most people's comfort zones.
Yeah, it's the one that people don't tend to like doing, being directly in front of a camera,
Yeah.
but it is the one that tends to get everybody to stop because they can see the person behind the brand.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next up is production, is pictures and videos of you making products from all different angles, all different types of products, close-ups, real close-ups, far away, time lapses, just as much as you can.
And when you think about it, that's an easy bit of content to create because you have to make your products anyway. You're doing a restock 1 day a week, so you just make sure you record every single aspect of what you do, and then you've got loads of clips that you can chop and use into reels and all sorts of things, and then you can take photos as well as you go. So you've then got a big bank of content.
Yep, that's it. And what we do here is we have a Google Drive folder where we are constantly creating content, putting things in there, and we just bank stuff up. Like you say, it's all of every piece of content you create, you should keep because you can repurpose, you can reuse it again. You don't just have to use it once and then that's it. You can constantly reuse it. And if you are recording lots of clips of production from all different angles, like I said, close-ups, far-aways, all of that, you can chop those up and piece them together in a sequence of, say, 10 half-second clips, which will take it to 5 seconds, mix the clips up and do it again, and that's all different. That's all content you can use on social media with a voiceover, with some text over the top. It's easy. It's easy when you do it like that, isn't
Yeah.
it? You build that bank of content.
And when you think about every single step that you do in a day, like if you make candles, for instance, you're laying out your candles, you're putting the wicks in, you're pouring, you're cutting the wicks, you're cleaning them, you're putting the labels on. Every single aspect of that could be an individual video. And you can also do a whole overview of what you've done that day and the whole process of making a candle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And next up, I've got time lapse. Now, time lapse is a great one.
Yeah.
Because it's that. I don't know why it's a great one, to be honest, but people do like. We've found that people do like watching the time lapses of things just happening over a quick, a long period of time, but sped up into a very short video.
I think it stems from the introduction of like TikTok and like fast videos and like satisfying videos. So when we used to have Cozy Aromas, we'd set a time lapse up and it would be a whole table's worth of wax melts and we'd pour all the way along. And over time, you can see the person pouring them and then they're starting to set as well. So the colour changing. It's really satisfying to watch.
Yes, you're probably right, actually, because I think a few years ago, 21, I think it was, we did a time lapse video just like that, didn't we, on TikTok, and didn't it have just under 1 million views
Okay.
on the Cozy Aromas TikTok?
Yeah.
It did, didn't it?
And we put it up and it was just like another one of those videos that we just always did, put
Yeah.
up, didn't think anything of it, looked at it again and it's like, oh, wow, okay.
Exactly. The other one is ASMR. Now, what does that mean? Do you know what it
I
stands?
don't know what the actual acronym stands for, actually. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, but ASMR. So that's the
It's a sound, isn't it?
it's the satisfying. It's those sounds, it's stuff like that. So, as an example, what we do at the moment, or what you do, is you'll have videos where you're taking wax melts out of packaging, chopping them up, putting them into the warmer, lighting the candle, then sort of when they set and everything, scraping them out of the warmer, all of that. And what you do is you piece all of that together into a short video, and then you turn the volume up, basically, so people can really hear those sounds, those sort of scratchy sounds. It's a satisfying thing that people really, really like watching, and they get great views, don't they?
They do, yeah. There was one I did where I put a Christmas warmer on, picked up a wax melt, and I was tapping my fingers against the wax melt so you could hear my nails banging against it, put it in the burner, and every time I turned the burner around, I made sure it scraped along the table as well. And then you click the lighter to light the candle, turn it all the way around again, so you got different types of sounds as well.
Yeah, and they get loads of views.
Yeah.
Okay, so those ones there I've just spoken about are really there for like
Scrolls.
getting the scroll stopping, getting exposure and stuff. And you'll notice that I haven't said anything yet about actually trying to sell your products, because it's not about that. It's very rarely that you should actually try and sell a product via Instagram, because as soon as you start doing that, your audience will switch off. They do not care. They do not want to be sold to. Okay, but what you need to do is be consistent and constantly creating these types of videos. And like I said, you build that bank of content, and it's actually quite straightforward and quite easy and simple and not too time consuming to do once you've got all of that sort of content. And you should every day you should be recording some form
Yeah.
of content.
You're using your profile essentially to have brand awareness and to show people what you do, who you do it for, and why you do it as well, because it's important to tell people the why behind the brand as well, because that catches a lot of attention. And then all they've got to do is just scroll up and click the link in the bio as soon as they're ready to buy.
That's it. And your social media content is building that brand exposure, is building that engagement, building that community. And then when you do have something to say, and you are recording a face-on video to say, hey guys, this weekend we're launching our winter collection. There's only 300 sets available. The first 100 orders will get a free wax warmer with their order as well. Make sure you're on your computer tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. when we go live. That kind of thing. People will start paying attention because you've built up that trust, you've built up that engagement. If every post is come and buy this, come and buy this, people will just scroll past, I promise you.
It's boring, isn't it?
Yeah. So to lead into that a bit more, I've got 3 other bits of content for people to create. So the first 4 we spoke about was the face-on videos, the production videos, the time lapses, the ASMR stuff. Now let's talk about stuff which is a bit more, not salesy, but a bit more informative. So the next piece of content that works really well is user-generated content and reviews.
Yeah. User generated is highly underrated, I think, by a lot of people because it shows your products in real people's hands, in their homes, what it would look like in your home if you're looking at the videos and the photos thinking, oh, I don't know, it sounds lovely. But then if you see other people are using it and they've got the warmers and all of your scents in their house, you're thinking, oh, hang on, people are loving them. And these are real reviews.
Yeah. And it can be really simple. So if you have a Facebook group, chances are you've got people posting in there things that they're warming or things that they're melting or what candles they've got lit today, those little posts. Or I've just received this delivery and it's a picture of a delivery, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Every week, get all of those together and create yourself a carousel, which is this week's deliveries or whatever you want to call it, and put them out there. People, I promise you, we used to do this with Cozy Rooms. People love looking at what other people were doing.
Yeah.
What other fragrances they've got, what other wax melt warmers they have, what kind of deliveries they're getting.
You'll also find especially in your Facebook group, for instance, somebody will put a picture up of what they've got delivered. Somebody else over time will comment and say, oh, I thought about that, but I'm not sure what it smells like. And then they'll have a conversation and then that will lead that other person to go on and buy that product as well.
That happened all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes every now and then you'll get people that will post a picture of their collection. So of everything they've bought from you. The amount of times we had people that would rummage through their cupboards or whatever, get out all of the wax melts they bought from us, lay them out on the floor, take a photo and post it in our group. That gets so much engagement.
Yeah, I loved seeing photos and posts like that. It was just like a proper buzz, wasn't it? And seeing how many people had stocked up on their favourites as well.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can, again, if you can take that content and post it on your social media as a carousel, not as a single image, and I'll talk about one little, as a carousel, then that is going to, when you see a carpet or a rug with 300 wax melts on it, that's scroll stop, and people are going to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And as soon as they do, they're like, oh, wow, okay, this is obviously a popular brand if this person's bought this many of them.
And then they scroll through and they see how you've got another 7 or 8 photos of people doing exactly the same thing. You think, oh.
Exactly. And that's how that's why user-generated content is so good, because you can't fake that. It's content that other people have created and posted for you. And if you're taking screenshots of their post with their name on there, blur out the surname, that kind of thing.
That's exactly what I was about to say, that shows it's real, that it's wrote by a real person.
Another good piece of content is Q&A, questions and answers. And you can do this as carousel or reels. Reels would be obviously you talking. Carousel would be slides of the question and the answers. And again, if you have a Facebook group or if you just have any other form of social media or even just a customer service hotline, which you should have, you'll get lots of questions coming through. Or you can use ChatGPT to come up with some questions for you that you can then answer. How long do your wax melts last? How do you use a wax melt? What's the best way of cleaning out my wax warmer? Blah, 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 blah. Loads of different things you can do.
And if for every single one of those, if you make a carousel and you make a reel, you've then doubled your content straight away, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. And finally, it's pain points. So what pain you need to answer you need to think of some pain points that your customers will have, and then how you can you need to create some content which solves those pain points or overcomes them. They could be pain points like you mentioned earlier, which aren't really pain points, but it's feeding on their niche audience. So
Yeah.
we love the Mediterranean islands. Go back to that example, yeah?
Mhm.
A pain point for us would be we're not there. We want to be there. But if there's this beautiful fragrance that smells like the the coast of Menorca, Mahon in Menorca, yeah, or it's related to that somehow, then we are going to pay attention to that, yeah?
Yeah, because it's what we're interested in, and it's like, "Oh, we're not there, but, oh, hang on, we could remember it."
Yeah. So that you've got those type of pain points. And the other ones are pain points as in barriers as to why people shouldn't buy from you. And this could be like, okay, I don't know how much their shipping is. I don't really want to go through their website and find out. So you're like, shipping is £3.45, but it's free on orders over £30. Talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about what cards you accept. Talk about what your delivery times are, that kind of thing. They're pain points, they're barriers that people need answering, need to understand, and need to push through before they'll place an order with you. That
That's the
kind of
thing.
stuff.
Shipping is something that people hate paying for. Even though they know they need to pay for it, it's something that people absolutely hate to pay for. So if you have that very clearly visible so they don't have to scroll through and try and find it, that makes them more likely to buy.
Yeah. Um, so there you go. That's the different types of content there that you can create. So you've got face-on videos, production videos, time-lapse, ASMR. They're like your brand builders. And then you've got user-generated content and reviews, questions and answers, pain points. They are the ones that are a little bit more call to action based, salesy, if you like. However, again, you'll notice that none of these actually try and sell you anything
No.
because it's not about that. Okay. People know how to buy from you. Everyone knows that if they want to buy something from you, they'll click on your profile and click on the link. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, when you do have things to sell, new collections, new offers, whatever it is, that could be once a week, it could be once a month, it could be once every 2 weeks, whatever it is. Create posts that do sell those. You have to do that. But what I'm saying is don't do that every time. Every other post you're doing should be brand building, answering questions, because that will build that engagement. They will build that brand exposure. So then when you do have something to sell, you'll have people that'll actually pay attention to that.
Most of your content should be about brand building, overselling, and then when you do sell something, people are more warm and more interested.
Exactly. So that's the type of content. Now, now it's the formats. Okay. So on Instagram, you've got 3 formats you can post. You've got a single image post, you've got a carousel, and you've got a reel. Yeah, you've also got stories, which you'll be doing all the time anyway, but let's just talk about the actual posts. Single image posts, they don't really do anything for you, okay? They don't perform that well. They will mainly be seen by a very, very small percentage of your actual audience. So I would avoid those. We don't post many of those at all, do we?
No, the only really single images that we post anymore are like quotes.
Yeah, something that's shareable. Yes. So the way these really work is reels are fantastic for getting exposure and getting eyeballs on your brand. And carousels are there to educate and convert people
Yeah.
to complete an action you want them to do. Okay. So with a reel, you could post a reel and it needs to be, I don't know, a really good format is 10 seconds long, made up of 10 to 12 short clips, less than a second. Yeah. With some text over it and a voiceover. Maybe not even a voiceover, but certainly with some text over it, captions, music in the background, all that kind of stuff. And these little clips will be from your production, from your time lapse, from your ASMR, blah, 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 all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They perform quite well.
So take all of your clips that you've just made your candle with, for instance, speed them all up, put them all together and say, make a candle in 10 seconds with me.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's a very good one. And that can get a lot of views. You might only have 100 followers. You might have less than 100 followers on Instagram. But if you could do a reel that gets 2, 3, 400 views, now you might not think that's a lot. And in the scale of Instagram and what's possible, it's not a lot, but it's absolutely achievable for most people. So what I'll say to you is, let's say you get 400 views on a reel. Imagine standing on a stage in front of 400 people.
Yeah, that's the way to think about it.
What would that look like? What would that feel like?
Terrifying.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, isn't it? So make your videos count. Make sure each one of them is a brand builder, does educate people, all of that kind of good stuff. And don't underestimate even 100 views on that's 100 people that have seen that video.
Yeah.
And keep doing that. Engagement will build. You will have a video that pops off every now and then and gets 10,000 views. We do that. We do that with Home Fragrance Game. We've got a tiny audience, but some of our videos will get 500 views. Some of them will get, we had one the other week, had like 28,000, 30,000.
30,000.
30,000 views.
That was one of the ASMR ones.
Yeah. So it does work. And yeah, views can be seen as vanity metrics, but there's a lot to this, and I won't go into all of it now, but essentially what you can do is you can run ads to retarget people that viewed your reels with an offer, and that's how you can convert those people. So it is important to get these views. And of course, the more views you get, the more chances of engagement you get. Therefore, the more it will push the content, the more it will push your other content that you create. The more followers you'll get, the more clicks through to your website you'll get. So all important.
Sales you get.
There you go. So that's the reels. Now with carousels, this is where you want to show off something, educate people, do your user-generated content, your Q&As, your pain points, that kind of thing.
How to empty your wax burner, what to do with your leftover wax. They're all educational kind of.
Exactly. And the way these really work is it's about dwell time on the post, and it's engagement on the post. Now, if you've got a 6 or 7 slide carousel, the very first thing you need to do is get people to scroll through the first two slides, get to the third slide, because straight away Instagram algorithm thinks that that's something that people are interested in. So the first slide is an incredible hook that encourages them to scroll again. Then in that second slide, it's a sub hook, which encourages them to slide again.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's, you want to talk about a particular subject. Then at the end, you want to get people to read that caption. So then you press the more button on the caption, then they read that. That's dwell time. The more you get of that on one of your posts, especially a carousel, the more that will be pushed to other people.
Yeah.
And the more engagement you'll get, the more followers you'll get, etc., etc. And these days, recently, it was the head of Instagram, wasn't it, who said that the way to help push these even more is to put some music behind the carousel.
And the only way you can do that is if you post it ad hoc. So what you could do is, if you had planned to schedule one, have it all saved ready on your phone, set an alarm for the right time, and then just go on and post it manually that way.
With music behind.
With the music behind it.
Because then it gets published as a carousel, but it also gets added to the reel section so people can find it like that. So that's a little tip for you. There you go. So they're the 2 bits of content you should really go all in on.
Yeah.
And your content needs to have 2 things. It needs to have an incredible hook at the beginning. So you said about, for us, what was it? Watch us make candles in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then that's a time lapse of making candles.
Yeah. I think about every single product that you can do that with.
Yeah. How to clean out your wax melt burner. That's a hook. Or the safest way to clean out your wax burner.
Yeah.
Something like that. There's your hook. Then you need to have a call to action. Every post needs to have some kind of call to action. It could be give us a follow. It could be leave a comment below. It could be click the link in our bio. Something like that. You need to encourage them to do something.
It could be tag your bestie that needs to know this tip.
Yeah, there you go.
Because those sorts of ones are really interactive and they're really good.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a friend that doesn't know how to do it, tagging them, and that then shows your profile to them as well.
Save this post for later.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff. That's what you need. You need an incredible hook, and then you need a call to action.
Yeah.
Simple as that. That's how you create content that will help sell your products, because it all works together. It's not a single piece of content that will work and sell your products. That's not how social media is. It's a whole thing where you're building an audience, building engagement, building exposure,
building a brand.
And then the bigger that grows, the more people visit your profile, more people click on the link. And if that's been optimized properly and it is a no-brainer offer, the more people that will buy from you. Yeah.
And it sounds very simple when we lay it out like that, because actually it can be simple. It can be that simple, can't it?
Yeah.
And think about all the things that you do in the day and all that content you can create without overthinking it and sitting in front of your computer thinking, oh, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to post. Just post the real stuff that you do all day, every day.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's how you do it. And if you really want to dive into this more, then we have a course called the Instagram Kickstart Kit, which will give you templates, will give you guides, all of that kind of good stuff. And we really dive into what it takes to grow on Instagram and build your brand. That's what we're doing. That's what we're helping other people do. It works.
It does.
It does. I hope that was useful to everybody.
I hope so. I think it will be.
That felt good. Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of ideas there and lots of things that aren't going to be super taxing as well, things that everybody can do.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Thank you guys for listening or watching if you're on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to know if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave a comment below on what you do on Instagram and if it's working for you, if you're struggling, if you've got some success, share some of your wisdom. We love to hear all of that as well.
And you can also tag your business in the comments as well, can't you? Let us know what your business is, share your website as well, and you might even find some people picking up your products from there.
Absolutely right. Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll speak to you in the next podcast.
See you soon, guys.